Enzo Maresca is going to be the first manager in the Premier League that is going to be sacked next season. Because with the way I have seen Chelsea play against Flamengo yesterday, and how Enzo Maresca continues saying that he is just experimenting, which means he has not had his first 11 since he started. Since he was employed to coach Chelsea, he doesn't even know his starting 11. He doesn't even know the kind of players that he wants. And most of the money he spent last season, as soon as he was employed, he is only playing one or two of the players. The rest of the players are nowhere to be found, which eventually means that he does not really know his job, or he's not taking his job seriously. And the Chelsea board look like they are not seeing. They are seeing everything that is happening, but they are just pretending. Honestly speaking, if Enzo Maresca continue or stay in Chelsea till December, Chelsea is definitely not going to make top 6. They are not going to qualify for next season's Champions League. I believe that, and I know that, because the way Enzo Maresca, he is just so inexperienced to coach Chelsea. I'm sorry to say, but I believe he is. And one of the reasons is just because, to be honest, let me just start with this. If Enzo Maresca was not employed to coach Chelsea, if he was still at Leicester, he would have also taken Leicester to the relegation. Despite the fact that he brought them back to the Premier League, he would have taken them back, because there is no pattern of play in this Enzo Maresca system. Enzo Maresca is just experimenting, trying to see if there is any player who can, try to make changes. But he does not. There is no pattern. I don't know if he's parking the bus. I don't know if he's playing in the midfield. I don't know if he's trying to play counter-attack. I do not just know the kind of pattern he's playing. And that is the reason why I believe there is a tendency that he might be sacked before December next year. Before December this year, sorry. And if he does not, Chelsea is definitely not going to make top 6, and they will not qualify for next season's Champions League. What is the aim, or what is the aim of the board? Their aim is to make sure that Chelsea qualify for next season's Champions League. But the way Enzo Maresca is going, it's not looking like Chelsea will be a threat to any team in the Premier League next season. Chelsea are already looking down, and I can picture out one of the core reasons why Chelsea is looking like they are not going to, be a threat to any team next season. One of the reasons is because Kopama is not producing for Chelsea. And why is Kopama not producing for Chelsea? The reason why Kopama is not producing for Chelsea is because he is not being played in the position that is going to allow him express himself. And now, the core position that Kopama can possibly express himself is when you play him in the number 10 role. If you play him in the number 10 role, anytime you see him in that role, you see him expressing himself, you see him trying to, always going forward. If he does not score, he tries to assist the striker. The reason, I have always said this over and over and over again, and I'll keep saying it, the Chelsea strength, the Chelsea progress is in Kopama. They have to make sure they try to look for a way to build the team around him. Kopama is not looking happy because he is being played off his position. And that is the reason why Chelsea are lacking goals. That is the reason why it looks like Chelsea do not have strikers. They have Nicola Jackson, they don't have Liam Delap. When you don't have someone who is actually producing or supporting those strikers, they are not going to score. And Chelsea is going to just look so stagnant and sluggish. Because if you check the way they play yesterday, we are very sluggish. I am not going to talk about that game, even though I got angry because at the end of the first, before the game started, I already made an analysis about the game, and I said that if Chelsea do not improve their game, if Chelsea do not play a particular way, that they were going to lose. And that was exactly what happened. However, I understand that the formation I predicted, that was exactly what he played. But why would you play Rhys James in the midfield to support Caicedo? Caicedo, who just try to do the dirty job, and Rhys James will be focusing on the back four. So when he does that, even Rhys James yesterday was just looking like someone who went to US for tourism. He was just looking like someone who was blindfolded and just thrown outside or somewhere he does not even know. He was so lost in that game until he was changed. And that's just that. And why is this so? Because Enzo Maresca does not really know where to play a particular player. I don't know if maybe he's actually doing some favoritism or something. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but if he continues like this, there is no way Chelsea is going to progress. There is no way if Chelsea manage to get to the round of 16, there is no way they can leave that round of 16, because if Chelsea finish second in the position in that group, they are going to play any of the team that finish first, and any team who manage to finish first in their own group are going to be more strong. So that's the reason. I think there are so many factors why I think Chelsea under Enzo Maresca is going to look so poorly, especially from next season. Now, okay, let's talk about kind of players. Like, what kind of player do you think Chelsea should get, and where should they work on? Now, let me tell you, Rhys James, his normal position is right back. And when you play Rhys James right back, he's always trying to make sure he goes to the front, to support. But Enzo Maresca also said that he does not like his right back, his defenders, to always try to push an attack. Now, again, what about Malo Gusto? Malo Gusto is another player that Chelsea need to send on loan and make sure they replace him, because there is no time. Many teams, when they are playing against any of their opponents, they try to picture out which of the player is weak in that team, and they will try to see if they can penetrate the team through that player. And this thing happened yesterday. Even though, if you check, Cucurella cannot defend only him at the back, he will try to do his own work and try to leave the other work for other players. And when players who are supposed to do their own jobs are not doing their jobs, you see other players getting angry, getting exhausted, getting tired. So many things. There are so many things that make me feel that Enzo Maresca is possibly not going to, lead Chelsea anywhere, and they are not going to qualify for next season Champions League under Enzo Maresca. Bookmark this post, because I said it, and I said it first. Because I have seen so many things that I think and I believe that Chelsea cannot succeed under this man. They struggled last season to qualify for the top five. They struggled to make the Champions League last season, and there is no effort to strengthen the team. Instead, they brought Liam Delap. Liam Delap, does he look like an upgrade to Nicola Jackson? No. Liam Delap is just a player who can, add energy to the team, but he's not a player who can replace Nicola Jackson. If Nicola Jackson is completely fit, they are not going to play Liam Delap over Nicola Jackson. But what is the essence? What is the essence of getting a striker? Getting a striker is to, replace that particular striker that you already have, which you believe is not really doing his job the way you think. That is the essence of getting a striker. But Chelsea have just got a striker who is just the same, not even an upgrade, nothing. There's nothing changed. There's nothing looking like they have got a striker. It's just like Liam Delap is one of their players that they sent on loan and he returned back. So there is no improvement in this Chelsea. There is no specific pattern you will say this is how they are going to play in their next game. That is why it's always confused. So to be rest assured, to start winning games, to start looking like threats, because initially I said Chelsea, if Chelsea can work on how Kopama can start playing free role, Chelsea are going to win the Premier League. But with the way I'm seeing Enzo Maresca and the way he tried to play players off their positions, I have just withdrawn that my statement, because Chelsea is likely not going to make the top 6 next season. I said it first.